Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Today we got a little bit more success today actually. We've got our female OBT in here, our Pterinochilus murinus, and we allowed her to keep her sac and she's hatched it out in there. And we find with the OBTs, they're one of the spiders that do really well if you just leave them alone. So we're quite happy to let her do all the work. Saves us doing a little bit really. But the downside to that is we've now got to catch all of these little spiderlings up. Now, we've seen a few out and about, so some of them are pretty much spiderlings already, so they're done. Others we've seen are a little bit behind, so we don't actually know what we got. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop them inside one of our nursery pots. And this will hydrate them a little bit as well, because they looked a little bit dehydrated. They looked a little bit weak. So we're going to put them in there and see how they get on. They'll probably only need to be in here a couple of days, and then we will pop them up individually into these, and then we can monitor them really well. But what we're going to do first is we are going to catch our female, because with a spider like the OBT, they're quite happy to defend themselves, and we don't really want camera lady's fingers in this tight little space with an upset OBT. So what we're going to do, we are going to pull her out. Now if I put this around here, you'll see here she's actually down in here, and the spiderlings are down there as well. And you would have seen from the front of the enclosure where she's put webbing all over the place. So if I spin that round again and you get to see the actual front of it, we can I'll explain what I mean. All of this webbing here, a week prior to these actually coming out, there was no webbing. It was all nice and clean, just the bark. And then she created all of this webbing pretty much overnight, and she just kept layering it and layering it and layering it. And we often see this with our Avix, and we see it with the Balfouri. They're another one that are really prone to this. And basically what happens is they are laying down the foundations for these slings to be able to get out and about. Because if you imagine a tiny sling, if he's crawling around in the moss and bits and pieces, they're going to get lost, trapped in the leaf litter, all sorts of things. Be careful of that heater, my love. It's right behind you. Right. Never. So they lay all of this stuff down, and this enables the spiderlings to be able to get around, and they can get out, and they actually hang in this and they molt in it as well. So this is all designed to give our spiderlings the best opportunity of survival. You can see down here, although she was behind, she actually had her sac down in here, and they're down in here somewhere. So we're going to have to break all of this out to try and find them. So first things first, we're going to get our catch cup, and we are going to catch our female up. Now this will do two things. One, it will get her out of the way, so we're not having to worry about what she's up to and our fingers. And two, it will actually enable us to have a really good look at our female. Make sure that she's still in top form. So what we're going to do now is she's trying to disappear right down into the middle. So what we're doing now is we are just going to try and get her to come up nice and gently. When they're stubborn like this, be prepared, because quite often they can literally just leap out at the slightest opportunity. We don't want you going back down there just yet. So we're trying to block off her path. We're maintaining contact. Turn that around a bit. We're maintaining contact with her. So now what we're going to do, we're going to try and, I don't know if our tub will fit. No, it's not going to fit in there. Make a bit of room for our tub. What I want to try and do is get her to come up into here. No, it's not getting any threat posture at the moment. This is because we're maintaining contact. There we go. There we go. One young OBT. And she doesn't look in bad condition, we can see from there. She's in quite good condition. She's only a young female, so we can look at getting a little bit more weight on her. She's got quite a bit of growing to do. And this is probably going to explain why we've had a relatively small sack from her as well. Right, let's have a look, see what we got, shall we? So we'll put her to one side, put her over there, nice and quiet. You see there was no fuss there, didn't really bother her. What we're going to do now is there's one baby there on the glass. You can see that there. Little tiny thing. Which in fact, what we can do is we can hook that one out. Always the way, isn't it? Come on, little fella, you're going to have to come up. You can see how they use the webbing to literally get around. There we go. There he is. One very, very nice little OBT. You can see they've already got the colour in, even at this age. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop him in there. There you go. Oh, now you can see he's colouring perfectly. What we're going to do, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to break off the webbing that's surrounding this piece of wood, so that we can lift it out. Because bearing in mind, once we've actually got the babies out of here, the slings, it's of no use anymore. So we can literally just clean this up. We've got another youngster there. There we go, another one. And quite often you'll find with these, there's another one there. Look at the size of that one. That's a really good one. That's a lovely one, that is. These are in actual fact ready to go into pots of their own. But we will, just for ease for now, we will transfer them into here, and then when we're ready we can pot them up individually. So we're just going to have a little check through this, and quite often you'll find when you allow sacks to hatch out in the enclosure with the female, you'll often find that you'll find slings in here at a later date where they've been hidden away. Right, you can have a little look. Right, shall we? Let's just pull this out, shall we, and see what we got. So we can put this on the desk. Hey, where are you going? Get back in there. See, this is another problem with when they're already slings. They're very, very mobile. There he is. Get back in there. Do as you're told. Right, let's see what we got. Now, normally we won't find too much in this stuff because this is the fresh stuff off the top. So don't look to be anything in there. This is where we're expecting to find them, in here. in that piece there. So we'll have a quick look in this. Oh, there's a couple.
Should have your tray, Dave.
Yeah, I think I might have to get my tray. Let's get a tray. Where'd he go?
Yep, you need to. I've just stopped him.
Oh yeah, I've got him.
Sorry about the camera work now.
Yep. God dear.
Oh, Fatty's come out again.
They don't want to stay in there, do they? Come on guys, you're not making this easy, are you? Get back in there. Right. Let's have a little look and see what we've got here. There's another one there. So as you can see, letting them hatch out with mum has its own unique problems, i.e. catching them all up. But there is some argument to suggest that the youngsters in some species grow much better. Now with things like the Balfouri, we never ever take them away. We always allow them to hatch with mum, and they do really, really well. So it's best to leave them. And with some other things, normally with things like, that looks pretty clear now, so we'll put that to one side. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull this piece out here, and this is where I'm expecting most of them to be. I say we wasn't expecting a huge amount, but here they come.
Dave, I'll put the lid back on as you go.
There's a couple. Okay. So this is where the majority of them are going to be. You can actually see through here, these little tiny sort of peachy coloured bits. These are old molts, little tiny molts from the slings. So we're going to open this up. There we go. There they are. So we know we're actually found the centre of the nest, as it were. That's all right. Is he on the side of the pot? There we go. Little toe rags spring to mind. And as you can see, at this age, these guys are of no threat to you. If they run on you, there's no need to panic. They're not going to cause you any harm. They're very, very tiny. I'm slowly going to peel this back. They're slowly showing themselves. There's another one. Oh, this is thick web here. Here we go. This is the centre of the sac here. You see, this is where they all hatched out. So you can see here by the amount of molts that there wasn't a huge amount of spiders here. Quite a small sac, really. They're nice spiderlings though. Now these at this age now are ready to go, so we can separate them, keep them all singly, and they are, to all intents and purposes, ready to be on their own, which is really cool. So by leaving them in with mum, we've saved a lot of work. And wherever we can, it does often pay dividends to leave them there. I don't think a few more kicking about. Another one. Let's see. See how we have to just tease it all out. Now what we will do, quite often when it's like this, we'll put all of this into a separate tub and just leave it alone for a few hours. We'll come back and just keep periodically checking it, because here you go, look, there's another one. Two there. See how quick they disappear? So just when here you go, there's more. Another one coming out. Two. So we literally get little pockets of them just appearing. Another one there. You can also see the size differences in some of these spiderlings. Some are quite a bit bigger than others. This is natural. This is what we would expect. And you consider in the wild state it would be survival of the fittest. So the very, very small ones will probably end up in the wild, would not make it. And the larger ones would predate on them. And they would eat their smaller siblings. In captivity, we can keep it to a much, much higher mortality rate in terms of what we actually manage to keep alive. Even the tiniest ones stand a chance of survival once they're in a captive situation, because we control everything. So we take away all the dangers and we just provide them with a nice, easy lifestyle. Some more. Some more. There's actually quite a few more in here than I was anticipating. There we go. When they bolt, they really bolt, don't they? They're gone. There's another one there. There is a method to all this madness. Right. I do believe that... Oh, no. Why did you want to go down that way? Oh, there he is. Just when you think there's no more, another little one pops up. Can you see any more, camera lady?
I was being naughty looking at that when not doing the camera, so I've gone back to doing it.
Oh, God, dear. Quality of staff these days.
Slacking.
Slacking.
Oh, it's come out.
Right then, I think that is about it for that. So what we'll do is we'll just keep an eye on the tray and see if any more pops out. We'll have a quick look in here. We've got a whole load of more web here. So we'll have a quick flick through that. There's one. There he goes. Now this is quite often the case with young females. When we're breeding young females, many spiders will breed much earlier than you first anticipate them to. And they will go really quite early. The only difference being is the sac size is often quite a bit smaller. So the more mature your female is, the chances of a larger sac is more evident. Right. There's one. See, this is the corner where they all were, so we would expect to find one or two. Oh, look, a little bunch of them there. Well, that was clever, wasn't it? I tipped him straight back in.
Stuff nowadays.
It's because I'm trying not to get all the soil. I should not really worry about that, should I?
No. I can't really see.
There's another one. Oh. There's another one. There he is. What I'll do is we'll tip them out onto here. This is easier.
It was all way too quick for us to be saying anything.
We do have to move a little bit quick here. Right. I think he says there's another one appears. There he is. Right, I think that might be about. Oh, blimey, look. Oh dear. Right. Bear with me, guys. Almost there. Okay. It's going to be interesting to have a count up and see exactly how many we got. Now you'll notice the other thing in this enclosure, it's very, very dry. And we found that our OBTs do well like this. And all we do when we're getting ready for them, we want them to actually drop a sac. What we do is we just moisten down a corner. And that is often enough to encourage them into producing that sac. That and a little bit of an increase in temperature. Not a lot. We're only looking at a degree or two, and that is often enough. Right, I think that is good. Right, so what we'll do now, we're going to hang on to this. We've got our tub here. That's actually quite a good little hole in there. If we have a look in there, we can see that is actually quite a lot of spiders. Didn't really expect to get that many in there. So that's really, really pleasing to see. It really is awesome. Now the chances are we're going to probably find a couple more in here as time goes by, we will see a few more. No doubt there'll be a couple in this piece of wood as well. And what we can do is we can just hook them out as and when we find them. It's not really a problem. So what we'll do now is we'll just top up the water here, and we can get our female back in here. Let's get this the right way around first. We get our female back in here, and she will pretty much go straight back to work, and she will start webbing all of this up, and she'll make it all nice again, and she'll keep it clean. And what we will do is we'll give that a quick wipe while she's not in it. There's no need to give her a complete change. Isn't she lovely? If I take the lid off, you'll see her properly. There we go. And as you'll see there, our OBT is not in any interest of moving. She is staying put. And this is because once they settle down and they get into that position, nothing else is bothering them. We're not touching her, we're not doing anything. So she's quite happy just to sit there. Having the tub move around does not make any difference, providing we're gentle. As long as we keep everything down to being nice and sensible, we won't get no hassle from our OBT. Right. This is something that's worth actually thinking about. If you this is probably the best stuff in the world. This blue roll, this is a blue roll tissue paper. We often get this in the workplace. Different companies, they often have this stuff. You can buy this a number of different places. You can get it online, you can get it anywhere. But the thing is, it is absolutely brilliant for cleaning glass. It's really, really good stuff for cleaning glass. And because it's on a roll, we can actually use quite a bit of it. You know, and it's inexpensive. It's not expensive stuff. And it will keep you out of trouble for keep nicking all the kitchen roll, which is expensive. So do yourself a favour, get some of this. It's really, really good stuff. Right then, we are now going to put our female back in. So here she is. We'll put our lid on our babies because we've got a couple out and about. We've got... Oh, camera lady, have you been watching these?
No.
No, obviously not.
Why did you leave the lid off?
Oh, I get it. I get the blame. Right. See where that paintbrush comes in so useful. Oh, there's another one. Right, last one. There we go. It's in. Let's get the lid on these little devils, shall we? Right. So, with all that mucking around, our female is still sitting here. So what we're going to do now is we will turn this around to here and we will get her to walk out on here. That's going to be the plan. So can we see that nice and easy there? So what we're going to do, we're going to put our tub in and we can put the edge of the tub on the piece of bark like this. And then what we're going to do now, we're going to ask her to move nice and gently. So we literally just touch her gently. She's in that I can't see anybody stage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and lift her up. Just a little bit. We want her front legs up. And we can go back in the back. Remember, they can just spring into life. So be aware. Here we go. You see how she's starting to move her front legs out now? This is what we want. We want her to start feeling the way. what we're doing, we're just gradually, very gradually lifting her. Moving nice and gently. Look at this, no aggression. One very happy OBT. Don't she look amazing? Very, very pretty. Let me get a photograph of that. She looks really, really pretty. Now you can see the elongated abdomen there. We're just going to be looking at getting that a little bit on the fatter side, but it's still in really good condition. We don't need to worry about that too much. That is absolutely perfect. One happy girl. Look at that. It's a beautiful spider. Right then. What we can do now also, while we're on the subject of slings, we'll have a little recap and we'll have a look at the Thai golden fringe slings. Now you would have remembered a couple of weeks ago we pulled a sack that wasn't particularly successful. It was only around about, well, I think, what did we look at? 55 slings that we pulled from that sack. And here they are. So this has been a couple of weeks on, and many of them were literally just eggs with legs. Some of them were very, very poor. And now look at them. They've got one more molt to do and they will be proper slings. You see how they've done out? Now you can see some here. Many of these, this one here didn't make it. Well, actually, no, sorry, that one has. That one actually has. And these here, these are cases where they've come out, which is quite unusual. We've not seen cases like this when they've come out. That one there didn't make it. And it looks like some of them have actually dried into the thing. It's actually very, very strange. So what we can do now is we can remove those pieces, take them away, because as you can see, there's a very, very small amount of mould getting around some of these. So we don't want that. We'll take all this away. Now this is literally probably going to be only a matter of maybe a week, and these guys would have molted out into proper little slings. And they'll be ready to be potted up and housed on their own. Now all the ones that we're taking out now, these would never ever make it. They're not going to do anything. They've sort of died in the process. But much of what we picked out is actually open sacks. You see that one there's got a little bit of stuff still attached to him. We'll have to try and clean him up later. Same with that one there. That's the same. You see they've got, the sac has actually dried onto the abdomen. And we can try and clean that up. So all in all, they've actually done really well. And we're really pleased with how they've come on. A little tiny gnat there. Try and get rid of him. That's it, get out. So these should be really, really good. We can get rid of the rubbish. We don't need that. So all in all, that's not a bad little success. From a sack that actually came out to be very, very poor, we're now looking at something that's really sort of turned around. And that is all because we've took them out and we put them in our nursery pot. By using the nursery pot, we can provide the right situation for them. And we can also monitor them. And then, as you can see, we can take out the bad bits and just keep a real good close eye on them. And it does the world of good. Normally when they're in these pots and we're checking these, we will check them in the initial stages. We check them every day. And then after that, we'll check them every other day or so. And then you can keep on top of them. Our OBT has disappeared. She's gone back in the back there now. As you can see, it's quite open. She will have that all webbed up. Within the next 24 hours, that will all be gone. Right then. Well, nice to have a success on our egg sacs, especially after the last couple that we've had have been a little bit little bit sad. We've had some infertile sacs. So it's good that we got this. Now we've got a few other sacs on the go as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they will all turn out right as well. All right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and you saw a different side to the OBT. They're not the mental things that you may first think they are. And as you saw there, they're really, really nice and calm. So, handled properly, they're a lovely spider and a real pleasure to own. Right then, well, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I will see you soon, guys.